welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel, and that is the R in the RK Stumbling Bear. I am a reader and a writer. And welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you are not new. So today, we are going to be talking about a secret reading project that I did last year in 2023. Nope. That I did last year in 2024. At the beginning of 2024, I went through all the booktubers and author tubers who make best of lists, so what their best ofs of 2023 were. And then I went to the people I work with, family members, people in my real life, and got their best ofs as well. And I made a huge list. I have 887 unique entries on that list. So that is crazy just how many books everyone is. And I did not count how many unique people I surveyed. Maybe Editing Rachel will put that number in, and maybe she won't. The main thing that I am trying to come to, though, is there were 4 books that rose from all of those to have been mentioned multiple times on people's best of lists. And those were the 4 books that, well, 3 of them were books that I determined that I was going to read in 2024. One of those books was Trust of the Emerald Sea, which was my favorite in 2023. And I had hoped to do a reread of it in 2024, but I loaned it to a coworker who then had it all year long, which I did tell her she could take as long as she wanted. I didn't quite expect this long, though. I finally got it back because she was getting ready to go maternity leave, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I want my book back now. So I haven't done a reread of this. Hope to maybe in the future. Oh, I forgot to say, besides me, the other people surveyed who really liked this was Read with Dr. B, Covers with Cassidy, Jess Owens, Kate Pfeil, Malin Tries, and Haley in Bookland. This follows Tress, whose love has been kidnapped by the wicked witch of the north, or whatever her name is, this magical being, and everybody has been like, oh, well, he's dead now. And she decides to leave her island and go rescue him. It's supposed to be kind of a play off of The Princess Bride if Buttercup had gone looking for Wesley instead of staying at home and grieving. Doing this project makes me really appreciate the difficulty that like the Hugo's committee has that is in charge of looking at all the nominations and then the voting, that, you know, the small amount of people I surveyed and the vast, over 800 unique entries, to have a few that only like 8 people agreed on one book, that is a lot of work. Dang. But definitely have enjoyed this project. So the book that had 8 people who voted for it, or not voted for it, had 8 people recommend it. And those 8 are Holly Hart's books, Books Like Woe, Tori Morrow, The Naughty Librarian, Jess Owens, Sarah from Fairy Reads, Book Roast, and Beautifully Bookish Bethany. And that book was The Adventures of Amina al-Sarafi, which I don't currently have because I loaned it to my sister and she hasn't read it yet. I know. And this happened to be one of my favorite books of the year. So yeah, definitely this has been a good project to have had a really good read come straight off the top, right? If you don't know what Amina al-Sarafi is about, it's about a 40-year-old ex-pirate who gets blackmailed into going to rescue someone's granddaughter. And other hijinks ensues, and you get a fantasy, mystery story, adventure, just everything that I love. Oh, and then it's set in the Middle East. I ended up reading The Adventures of Amin al-Sarafi in July of 2024 because it was also recommended to the Hugos, so it made it really easy to slot that in and get that read. But earlier in the year, actually in April of 2024, I ended up picking up Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Never thought that this was something that I was going to read, except 7 people recommended it. And those were Read with Dr. B, Covers with Cassidy, Jess Owens, Kate Pfeil, Malin Tries, and Haley in Bookland. And then what kind of tripped this for me to read sooner rather than later, one of my friends in real life, Greg, texted me in March and said, you should read this book. He goes, yeah, there's a smutty scene. You can skip over that. You should read this book. So I read it in April for the magical readathon that Book Roast does and really enjoyed it more than I thought I would. Could care less about the romance element of this, but really love the writers and the fantasy plot that's going on. And the last book of the 4 that I was like, this is a priority read in 2024, I have not yet finished. It's in 2025. It was easy to kind of keep putting off because it wasn't nominated for the Hugos or the Nebulas. And then there was always other like priority reads or things I was doing. And so then finally I was like, okay, Christmas. I own this book. Christmas. I will have a couple days off. Picked it up, started reading it, and realized it's going to take more of my mental energy than I thought it would. It's not a romp. It is really a more thoughtful, intense fantasy. And that book is The Will of the Many by James Islington. It's also had 6 recommendations, sorry. Fourth Wing had 6 until Greg made 7. The 6 that had recommended this one, I keep saying recommended as if they actually recommended to me personally. No, I'm just taking their best of list as recommendations. So the 6 were The Shades of Orange, Daniel Green, Holly Hart's Books, Covers with Cassidy, Nico's Book Reviews, and Sufficiently Advanced Lena. So I am 3/4 of the way through, and we'll definitely have this done this year, this month, January 2025. And this is about a young man named Diego who's going by Vis. He is a prince of Sus, which is an island that was invaded by the hierarchy. And he's been on the run and in hiding, and he's gotten adopted by a senator who wants him to go to this elite academy to uncover a plot of how his brother died. And then another rebellion group also has figured out who Diego is and wants to use him as well. And Diego kind of wants his revenge on the hierarchy, but also doesn't want to be forced into doing the same, like, magic as the hierarchy. Like I said, it is a way more thoughtful and intense fantasy book than I was originally expecting. I guess that's not fair to so much to say, but either way, I'm really enjoying this, and yeah, I'm curious to see if it will make my top 10 of 2025 or not, but we'll see. So for all of you other booktubers and content creators, your best of lists matter, at least to me, because I am doing a repeat of this for this next year for all of your best of 2024 and reading the top ones in 2025. And for the ones that have so far come up to the top, not what I was expecting, which is kind of cool. So, but I'm going to make you wait a whole year to find out what those have been. Have you read any of these books? If you have, what do you think of them? If you haven't, are you interested in picking them up? I would love to know. And if you're not feeling chatty, go ahead and leave a stack of books or a book emoji, because I'd love to know that you were here. Thank you, and have a great day.